Can you see the turbulence in your life as a wake-up call, as an invitation into greater awareness, rather than a punishment or another story about how you're a POS and you can't get it done? See, we can use our turbulence and our discomfort and our suffering as tools for greater awareness, or they can be excuses to slip into repetitive self-destruction. Can you use that which you bump up against in your life as a catalyst for greater awareness, such that as you continue to travel, your experience, your relationship to the things that you used to bump into starts to shift? Can you use your history and the ways in which you've experienced turbulence to be a guru in your life? It can be an excuse to hold you back, or it can be a guru for greater awakening, awareness, possibility, and potential. When things feel really good, when an experience, when a thought, when a perspective, when a person or a place holistically feels really good from the inside out, that's a very good indicator that there's resonance. Nature speaks in the language of resonance. So when something is resonating, that means it's in alignment for you. It's in service of your evolution and the evolution of your environment. When you experience dissonance, when something feels crappy and off, when you're experiencing turbulence, when you're experiencing holistic discomfort, not the type of discomfort that's discipline-based, that's actually good for you in the immediate moment. I'm talking about a holistic spiritual discomfort, like this isn't meant for me. Or perhaps this is no longer meant for me. Things have windows of relevancy, and sometimes they reach their end. So there's the discomfort of letting go of something you know is no longer meant for you, but there's the contextual spiritual comfort of, I know this is best. In service of my growth, I know this is best, but it's hard, it's inconvenient, it's uncomfortable. So that's the distinction there. A Course in Miracles, a beautiful spiritual text, speaks on the following. Discomfort, and remember, we're contextualizing discomfort holistically rather than disciplinarily. Discomfort is aroused only to bring the need for correction into awareness. So nature is so intelligent that even your darkness, even your discomfort, even your disconnection is full of intelligence. It's speaking to you. This is your emotional guidance system. When something is feeling off or is communicating dissonance, you're being spoken to. You're getting feedback as to the relevancy of your presence or your way of thinking in that particular way or that particular time. You're constantly receiving feedback from nature. So if you're receiving feedback that doesn't feel good, although it may feel like a form of a punishment, or it may feed into a woe is me storyline, what I'm inviting you to reframe is that your darkness, your turbulence, your suffering, nature is fully present in those moments. It's speaking to you. It's saying, wake up. Through this not feeling good, I'm inviting you to wake up into greater awareness such that going forward, you create a new experience for yourself that feels more in alignment with who you are. It feels more blissful. It feels more peaceful. It feels more grounding. It feels more exciting. It feels more expansive. It feels more holistically challenging. So pay attention to how things feel in your life and practice self-inquiry. How does this feel? How is this feeling to me? Perhaps you take a step back in your awareness as you're engaged in something, zoom out, check in. How is this feeling? And if it's not feeling too good, you're being spoken to, wake-up call, opportunity. I can either change my perspective, I can change the way in which I'm engaging with this thing such that it starts to feel better, indicating greater alignment, or perhaps I'm being asked to change the context completely. Perhaps you're being nudged in the direction of completely removing yourself. Sometimes that turbulence is a way of thinking or seeing something. That's that inner turbulence. And sometimes that friction and turbulence makes itself obvious in our environments such that it becomes clear that this place and time and way of being are not meant for me. So when something feels really, really awesome, you're getting confirmation from nature's intelligence. And when something doesn't feel very good, you're getting confirmation from nature's intelligence. This is your course correction. Have you ever been bowling with children? Perhaps you were a child when you went bowling. And if you remember, we all put up the inflatable bumpers on either side of the lane, such that when the ball starts going too far off track, it gets bumped back towards the center and bumped back towards the center. So that's kind of what nature's doing. That's kind of a gentle analogy. Sometimes it's not quite that bouncy, and oftentimes it is. It depends sometimes on how far off you've gone, because the more you veer off your lane of alignment, the louder nature becomes, because you need a louder wake-up call at that point to head back towards your zone of evolution. When you're out here in the outliers, you're getting off track of your evolutionary zone. Nature on a macro scale is evolving. So if you as an individual are getting too far off track, wake-up calls get louder and more obvious. In here, in this zone, we have more subtlety, more alignment, more obvious gracefulness, more frictionlessness, as it were. I'm house sitting right now at my brother's. He has an air conditioning system, and you can set it on both ends of the spectrum. If it starts to get too cold, the heat comes on. If it starts to get too warm, the air conditioning system activates. So in either direction, something is triggered if you start to get too far off track. We bring the whole environment, the whole climate back towards the middle, optimal, sustainable zone. That's what nature's doing. When you get too cold, it's like, oh no, we got to bring some heat. And when you get too hot, nature's like, oh my goodness, we're going to settle this down with some coolness. Nature's on your side. Nature, you're the little kid bowling. You're on the cosmic bowling lanes. Nature's the inflatable bumpies. Nature is also your beautiful cosmic interior heat and air conditioning system. You're always being spoken to. Cold air and warm air are being blown on you. And if you can be sensitive enough and to be in the listening of how nature's communicating to you, you can course correct in ways that are more frictionless and more graceful without needing the abruptness, the sharpness of the more intense wake-up call. So you are generating the nature of your own wake-up calls according to how you're showing up, according to how I'm showing up, according to how we are all showing up. I trust and hope that you've received great value from this video today. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them below. My name is Matthew Spangler of The Meditation Effect. It's been an honor and a privilege, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.